The NBA Finals are all but over. Toronto Raptors are one game away from winning NBA championship. When you look at the organization, the franchise, what they've been through, all the first round exits, all the sweeps they've endured, this is one of their best stories and one of the most well deserving championships for a team to win, especially who they're winning it over in terms of the Golden State Warriors. You know, they took a gamble trading for Kawhi Leonard. They didn't know if he was going to stay. They didn't know how healthy he was, and it paid off tremendously. Even going down 2-0 to Milwaukee, they clawed back in the series. You're looking at Kyle Lowry, who's going to be a championship champion, Serge Ibaka, who's going to be a champion, Marc Gasol. All these guys are well-deserving champions of a championship. They kind of remind you of the Dallas Mavericks, a bunch of guys who are crafty veterans who fought and scrapped through the NBA but never really got their just due, and now they're getting it. Just the way that Pascal Siakam is playing, like you can tell he's a future star in the NBA. It's a feel good story for the North, for a franchise who's been through a ton of adversity in terms of drafted free agents, in terms of losing playoff series. Even Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady couldn't really take him anywhere. And now you're looking at it's not even the usual suspects, it's an unusual suspect in Kyle Lowry and all these other guys. Of course, Kawhi Leonard is the main focal point of everything, but those other guys have stepped up. And in the wake of this championship, this is something that a lot of people aren't saying. The Toronto Raptors are the ones that are showing strength in numbers. You're looking at Fred VanVleet, Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, all those guys that were struggling in earlier series, even in the beginning of the finals and before the finals. Now they're all stepping up. They're dropping 15, 20 points per game. They're all contributing. Danny Green, who's struggling, he's contributing. So that being said, they are the exemplary model of strength in numbers. When you're looking at the Golden State Warriors, the war of attrition really took hold of them when Kevin Durant went down, and then Game 2, Klay Thompson went down, and that essentially eroded their whole momentum in the playoffs. I mean, they won Game 2, but they lost Game 3 because they had to sit Klay, and then Game 4, they couldn't get any scoring from Draymond Green or Andre Iguodala. I believe at one point Andre Iguodala in the fourth quarter had 2 points. Draymond Green finished with 10 points in back-to-back games, which is it's just purely not enough. So the length of the Toronto Raptors really bothered Draymond Green, and it bothered Iggy, who was forced to take a lot of perimeter shots and who's hesitant to take those shots. With the Warriors, when you're looking at them, they're essentially a 1.5 man show because Klay went down, and that really took the wind out of their sails. They are one of the first few teams in the NBA Finals. I think they've sustained the most injuries, and that's not an excuse or whatever the case is for them losing, because you got to make do with what you have. You know, when LeBron and Cleveland in 2015, when Kyrie went down and Kevin Love went down, and he still took them to 6 games. That was very impressive, and LeBron had a 2-1 lead against them. Nobody was giving him any sympathy. Only thing I would say that's quite different, let's keep it like this. Let's equate LeBron to Kevin Durant. Let's equate Kyrie Irving to Steph Curry, and let's equate Kevin Love to Klay Thompson. Now, it wasn't the fact that Klay went down or whatever the case is. I think a large part of the series, and this was baked in, it wasn't the fact that Kevin Durant went down. It was the fact that Klay went down, and then Looney went down. I mean, you're playing with a compromised Boogie Cousins. So the war of attrition really took its hold on the Golden State Warriors. You're looking at this from this perspective. Let's just say in the 2015 Finals, it's not Kyrie or Love that goes down. It's LeBron that goes down, and Love suffers a temporary injury that keeps him out 1 game. Do you think that series goes 6 games? I doubt it. This series, you're walking in without Kevin Durant, and now you have a compromised Klay. So that really just decimated them all to begin with. Then Kevin Looney off the bench is hurt. And essentially, it was easy pickings for the Raptors because what they did is they stuck to their game plan. They got the ball out of Klay and Curry's hands, which is very smart by Nick Nurse, and they forced other guys to beat them. And for for the life of me, I don't understand where Draymond Green's offense has went. You're looking at a guy in Game 7 in the 2016 NBA Finals. He had 30. He had like 6 for 8 from 3. He can't hit a shot. You're looking at Andre Iguodala, who's the Finals MVP. He averaged like 20 points in that Finals. He can barely give you 2 to 4 points. He can't give you 10 points. Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala are combining for 12 points. It's just not going to work. They wouldn't be any team like that. So I don't know if it's just really coming to grips with their mortality of the championship run and they're not going to three-peat or whatever case is, or Kevin Durant leaving. That's another factor. And this is why this NBA Finals is such bittersweet, if you think about it. If the Raptors win, people are going to say, from the Golden State side and everybody else side, hey, KD was injured, Clay was injured, whatever. And then if, let's just say the Raptors were to lose, you will call them the biggest bums or whatever the case is, or you will cite the Drake curse, whatever the case is. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. And if I feel like in another sense they can't win either, because from what I'm gathering, Kawhi is leaving irregardless. And to me, he should stay. You won a championship, defend your championship. Sign a 1-year deal and then defend your championship. Unless there's going to be an upcoming CBA where he can't see himself sign a 1-year deal, then that makes sense. But you win a championship in Toronto, you stay there, and you're the king of the North. It's a play on words from Game of Thrones. But essentially, you're the king for a whole entire year. Every team's going to try to pattern their game after your team. They're going to try to get a wing player and mix it in with like a deep roster and see how it works. Everybody's going to try to follow that model. They're going to go away from the Golden State model of creating a championship team where it's a bunch of star players. Everybody's going to go away from that model and try to stay with the Kawhi model. So to me, Kawhi shouldn't leave, but from all indications, he leaves. So that makes it even worse for Toronto, because not only you just won a championship, now you lost your best player. So it's this year has been like a weird year, but this NBA Finals has been extremely weird in terms of injuries. And in terms of what's going to happen after, you're looking at a Kevin Durant who didn't play, who of course we know is injured, but is it really a calf? Is it not the Achilles? Because he didn't play not one game this series, and they're down 3-1. So what does that tell you? It was more than just a calf. Maybe it wasn't Achilles. Maybe he was saving himself for, when he goes to New York, the New York Knicks. But another factor you got to think about that as well is, listen to this. Maybe Kevin Durant didn't play because all that smack, all the media, and Draymond Green talked earlier this year about we won without you, before you, we can win without you. That being said, did Kevin Durant hold himself out because of what the media was saying? Because we all know how that the media can charge and put a battery in people's backs and force them to quit on their teams or whatever the case is. Especially somebody like Kevin Durant who spars with the media daily. So you're looking at that, you're factoring it in. Like, this is one of the things that I think we're going to see a 30 for 30, 20 to 30 years from now. The reason KD didn't play the rest of the series is really not because of the cap, because he had 3 to 4 weeks off. He had almost basically a month off since the Rockets series. They swept the Portland series. So if we find out a 30 for 30, he didn't play because of what Draymond said or what the media said, that will be a shocker right there. That would be like the ultimate, like, F you to the Golden State Warriors. Like, you guys made fun of me. You got Joe Lacob said not Joe Lacob, but Bob Myers said he didn't earn it like Steph, and Draymond got frustrated with me. I just said, you know what, they could toughen this out or whatever the case is. So only thing I can think of him sitting out like this and not playing is because he's saving himself for the Knicks, or he's going to re-sign with the Warriors and he just doesn't want to do any more damage or whatever the case. I guess that could be a consolation prize. If they lose, hey, we really did need you, so now he can stay, and that gives him the excuse to stay, and nobody could actually refute that. But right now, it's all about the Raptors. They are winning They're going to win the championship on Monday. It's kind of bittersweet because we didn't get to see the finals how we wanted. Like, you didn't get to see Kawhi against KD. Games 2, I would say games 2. Not so much game 3. I would say games 2 and 4 were the best games. I would say game 2 was the best game of the series. Game 4 was second. No, because one team is severely compromised. It wasn't like okay, I understand 2 stars go down like 2015 finals for the Cavs, but it wasn't just 2 stars for the Warriors. It was 2 stars, role players. Iguodala's hobbled, and then maybe you look at the Raptors side, they also have that because Kawhi wasn't 100% either. He was his gait was changed so now imagine if Kawhi was 100% healthy, maybe he wouldn't be averaging 35, 36 points. This guy's averaging 30 plus points, 10 plus rebounds in NBA Finals. This is one of the best finals for a player in a long time, and he's killing it. He's killing it. So, all praises and all credit due to them. So, and especially Kawhi Leonard. But it's bitter. You would hate for him to leave. You win a championship and you leave. That doesn't make sense to me. That just doesn't make sense to me. To me, you have to defend your championship no matter what. He can sign a max with the Raptors. Maybe down the line, you could request a trade. But you're in the East. You dominated. You could go make it back to back-to-back finals. I don't see any reason he leaves. He looks like the second reincarnation of Jordan, just with a little less hops. So I don't see him leaving. But Toronto Raptors, congratulations. Game 5. I don't see the Warriors coming back. And the one cautionary tale I would say to this, Raptors, you have to close out the Warriors in Game 5. If you go back to Oracle, Game 6, it's not going to look good for you. Hoops Junction, Hoops Meets Hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.